Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be resuming our work on the WASM or putting WASM into some Docker containers. But it's always been so helpful, I think more helpful for you and I, but hopefully it's helpful for everybody watching too, to do a previously on the live streams. Because I don't think
Yes.
we've settled on an official name for the live streams quite yet. Maybe we'll get there. But anyway, previously what we did in the very beginning is Josh had put together a little WebAssembly component that
Hmm.
was a little web clippy. There we go. I can say that word now. That basically put clippy and then some text in it. Pretty little demo just to demonstrate how the components are built and how we can deploy. And now we're trying to figure out how to put them into a container. And then from there on, we should kind of be able to use the component just like we would any other container deployment. So I think, yeah, not even a minute in, I wrapped up the previously on. So no 3 minute, 5 minute wait. So here I'm gonna
Very
add my,
succinct. Very good.
yeah, concise. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yes.
It's conciseness. So here, how's the font look? Josh, is it good?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I can. I mean, I
a
think you
little
can if you
bigger.
can take it up like one more. I think
Okay,
that would make it
we'll
slightly.
go
Yeah.
with that.
Perfect.
So let's recap what I hear. So I was doing it the old fashioned way where you do docker build dot and you just have the file there. And I could not remember the syntax for specifying a file. I
Hmm.
figured it out. So it's a little cleaner now. Instead of shoving it in random folders so I could get the Docker file isolated, I was able to figure out how to do it. And I believe someone was trying to help me with this in the comments or in chat last time, but it just wasn't clicking. But essentially, what you get to do is if you do docker -f
Uh-huh.
or docker build -f, and then you can name your Docker file dot whatever. So I've named mine
Mm.
dot base, build, and run, and that's the three separations, the files that we have right now for
I
our
see.
WASM component. Um, and then you can do the dot and then tag it. So that's
So
what I
that
did. Go ahead.
dash f stands for dash
File.
file.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Cool.
I forgot you also need the dot afterwards. I was just trying to say file. Because it wants you to, because it's saying that file is in the local direct or relative directory, but I just wasn't figuring it out.
Ah. Oh. Oh. You mean the sorry, not the dot in dot base, but the
This, yeah.
trailing dot. Ah.
Yep, that's what
Okay.
I
So
was
you give it a
missing.
file name and the directory where to find that
Yep.
file.
And chat was trying to help me with that last time, and I
I see.
just it wasn't clicking. I was
Nope.
either under caffeinated or over caffeinated. Those are my two states of mind.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
right now we're bordering over caffeinated, just so everybody knows.
Do,
But
do, do
anyway,
you know the expression where it's like there's no such thing as being on time, you're either like early or too late?
yeah, yep, same
That
thing with
but like with
caffeine.
caffeine, you know.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and run this again. Should be cached, so it's not going to take long. So I
Hmm.
built the base image. Let's review what that base is.
Okay.
So I guess if we rewind to the second one, I walk through setting up a new WSL Ubuntu instance, and basically we shoved everything we did in that to get to the point where we could compile a component and run the
Uh-huh.
component into this base image here. So we're starting from Ubuntu 2204. We're installing some packages that we needed, and
Hmm.
you fixed an issue live, well, right after stream or live on stream yesterday, and you have a PR in, so a new release we can move some stuff.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
can I can link that PR if you like
yeah,
wanna
please do. Yeah, put it in
take
chat.
a.
I think that's awesome that we're fixing stuff live, you know.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, these are some packages. I won't go too much into it, but these are necessary for the building of the component. Um, all in here, and I think I even have the runtime installed in this. Yeah, WASM time. So the WASM time's a runtime. We could probably move that out eventually. And then here we're doing basically setting up the Rust environment so we can compile the component. So we're using Rust up to install Rust, and then some cargo stuff to get the components that we need. So that is the base, and that's what I just built there. So if I take a look at my Docker images, if I spelled images
Mhm.
right, Docker images, we can see that I have named the images a little better. WASM component. So this is our base image that we need for our build. So that's that container image. Build is where we're actually just building the component so we can get this nice little file here, the hello WASM, and that's outputted in the target directory. So we'll go with that. That is all we need to do for build. Where we're pulling in our base image, we're copying in our source code, which is we're actually just taking everything in, but what we really care about are the cargo, lock, toml, and the source bindings and lib, where our component logic lives. We're just running cargo component build, and that is what produces the WASM component.
Okay.
So there's that. And I think this is where we'll probably start because I was running into some issues in this particular file. But we kind of skipped forward and just kind of compiled without the container, shoved the WASM file in the container, and we were able to run it last time. So this is the run. So that's the recap. That's currently where we are. That's the context. So now we get to do some more Docker fun.
Okay.
So Docker build -f Docker file build, and dot, and then we can want to tag this with, we'll just say WASM build just to make it easy.
Okay.
Latest. So we get an error. Full access to. Oh, I need to update the name. Docker images, because I changed the name of the base.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know what those errors mean. I was like, what?
I'm glad you know what the Rust errors mean. So,
yay.
Okay, there's that. Try to rebuild this. And
It
failed
said,
to resolve. Go ahead.
You did a list, and I saw like 1.88 gigs. But
Yes.
that's Ubuntu with all the build tools, with the multiple compilers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Not optimized in the slightest.
Yes.
That
okay.
is for sure. Okay, so pull access to. We're still getting that. Oh, did it not save? Or did I maybe put it in the wrong file? No, I didn't. It must not have saved. Docker images. Component. Override that.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
There. Okay. There we go. That's the error I was looking for. Did not compile successfully. So what I typically do in here is I just kind of start the container image and run into it. So if we do docker run --rm, because I want it to remove the container image right after I exit these interactive terminals. That way it doesn't gunk up my containers. And then we want to run what? WASM component latest. Right. Okay. Now we should have our app in here. Well, no, we won't have app.
Won't we?
Not yet. Because we're referencing the old image, and this couldn't compile, so it didn't produce an image. So we'll just uncomment run, and we'll create a new, or we'll comment out run, and we'll create a new temporary image.
Okay.
Just save the file. No. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong keys. I remapped my control key, it's been painful.
What did you map it to?
So I have a happy hacking keyboard, and the control is normal where caps lock typically is. And so for the longest time, I just remapped it to the power, like the super key. But I'm trying to learn the actual layout of the keyboard now. So
you moved it off the caps lock to the
inverse of that. I moved it from the super key to the caps lock, which it typically is, but I use the software to override it temporarily. So I did like almost 10 years on Windows, and then I was on Mac for 5 years, and then I just keep switching it up just for constant.
Do you have this? Sorry, like said what? Completely like sidetracking, but like, do you also have the thing? You use Vim, right?
I do.
Yeah. Do you have the thing where if you like hold, it's like control, and if you tap it, it's like escape? To
I
me,
don't think
that
so.
is the best like keyboard improvement you can have as a Vim
Well, you should
user.
share that with me afterwards because I'm not familiar with that one.
Because you know like in Vim you're like jumping like control modes like or modes like the like all of the time. So like having
Yes.
your escape on where the caps lock is, and you just like
Oh,
you
nice.
flick it to like do the
Well, the happy
thing.
hacking, let's see if the camera will show it. They have a pretty good escape key location, just like right at the top of your pinky.
Okay. Yeah,
So the
that's not
keyboard
bad.
layout, 60% keyboard is pretty nice.
Nice. Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
sorry,
We're doing
everybody on in
keyboards.
chat.
Uh,
We're having a little mech
I've got this
keyboard
one. Also, I think this is
detour.
also like a 60.
Excellent, excellent. So that's settled. 60% keyboards win. All right.
That's right.
So let's rebuild this. We'll exit this container. We're going to
Okay.
rebuild this without the run.
Okay.
So WASM build latest. Yep. Okay. And that should work just fine because we're not running the compile. So now I can run the WASM build latest.
Uh-huh.
And now I should have my app. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm in the working directory. So I've got everything in here. So now I can run cargo. Just make sure cargo's there. Cargo is here. Cargo component build. And now we can start to debug. What? Maybe there's something missing.
Looks like it's going.
Okay.
Looks like it went.
So let's look in, what is it? LS or our target.
That's right
Debug
there.
or WASI.
The last yellow line has it right there. Target WASM32 WASI
Oh,
debug
got it.
hello.
Debug.
Yeah.
I was trying to use my memory. Faulty memory.
That was a mistake. Why would you use your memory? No.
It'll eventually get there. Okay, so it works fine interactively. So I wonder what the deal is with it running in the container.
Yeah. Because it looks like it should work, right?
Yeah, we ran it straight from where the working directory, which
Yes.
is where I currently am. So I wonder, does it need, and it would be running as the root user.
Because we're picking WASM component latest, not WASM build latest.
Right. Let's see here. So let's rerun, see if we can't recompile. So we're building this file that we're looking at right here.
Okay.
From WASM component, because that has
all the
runtime and has Rust and all that good stuff. So that's just our base.
Right.
Set up to build a component. We're copying a directory, we're changing the working directory, and we just tested it interactively and it works.
I see.
Cargo. Oh, bin failed to solve process bin sh cargo component did not complete successfully.
Oh, is work
cargo not found. Did I spell cargo wrong?
What?
It says here's.
Oh, it might be the alias thing again, where you might just need to point it to like where the actual like physical path of cargo or the absolute path of cargo.
Okay. Do you happen to know that by?
No. I am okay. I'm guessing whatever your home there is /.cargo /bin. Yeah. Oh, it's in root. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you may just need to target cargo component directly.
Copy. Like that?
Yes, but because you're targeting a cargo component subcommand. Actually, no, this may just work. Try this. Try this.
Looks like it works.
Yep.
Okay, so we can exit that. I think this is where who was the gentleman's name on the in chat last time? They exported a bunch of environment variables.
Oh,
yeah. I bet that would fix this particular issue.
Yes.
So let's see if we can't rebuild it.
By the way, we have a little cat friend on stream. Nobody's decided to keep us company.
With his back turned, of course, protesting. Or he or she.
Yeah. She. No, she's taking a bath.
Oh.
Very, very polite. Doesn't want to show too much.
Modest.
yeah, exactly.
Modest. It's a virtue.
The least modest cat in the world, though. Like this one is just like on her back, four paws sprawling all day long.
Pet me.
Mhm.
Okay, so that worked. It was just it didn't know where cargo was. So we
I
could
see.
we'll leave this for now, but better would be to export the environment variable to this.
Yes.
Okay, so now it'll produce the components. So now we got to figure out um, if we want to do a multi-stage build, or we could combine these two together, right? Because we could
Okay.
say, because this is the one that was running it, but that assumes it's already been compiled.
Mhm.
So this would be, pulling it from, I wouldn't have to like pull it in from the file system. It would compile and then bring it into the image that way, into the layers. So we could do hello WASM time, because that should still be the right path, I think.
Okay.
Serve.
So to sort of like recap where we're at, like we have successfully built a component,
Yes.
right? And now where we're embarking on is like, okay, now that we've built it, let's also run it. So
Yes.
we're combining that into a single thing where it's like, okay, build and then run. And then the step after is like split the building from the running,
Right.
ostensibly, right?
Yep. Yeah, we could do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want to use a multi-stage, the single one,
Mhm.
this would work. Just it should work, but we need to
Okay.
change this path. So if we
Okay.
come into the Docker file, the build one, and we run this again, so we get the component inside the container.
Uh-huh.
We need to find the path. So it's app, because we're going to be in this working directory, but this command here needs to know where this is because it's not right in the root directory.
Ah, right.
So ls, what's it? So it needs to be like target.
Can't we copy it out or link it out at the end?
It could. How do you typically handle the Rust binaries like in that ecosystem? Because with Go, there's no
I
like target
don't.
layers. There's just the file that's compiled. So do you
Right.
typically copy that from target to somewhere else?
From Target to somewhere else. So I mean, like real talk, like I don't.
Okay.
Like what I do is I'll just point something at Target, or I'll be like, oh, here's the target, and then you upload whatever the artifact is. But because we're essentially building a Linux image, an Ubuntu image, I don't know what best practices are.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
line 7, by the way, can we add dash dash release
yeah.
to the end? Yeah, that'll it should shrink the resulting binary slightly
Okay.
because this is like an actual thing. And I'm like, yeah, probably should just do that. So that would be, instead of like debug, it'll be like release.
Oh, so it'll actually create in the release folder.
Yeah, and then
Here,
the
let's
exact
just
same
run it again.
suffix. Oh yeah,
Let me
good
get
idea.
the absolute path here.
Yep.
So let's just ls target release.
Was it WASM
Oh, it'd
32
be
first?
WASM 32 release.
Yeah,
And then there's our binary. So then it would be
correct.
hello WASM.
Yes.
So I think if we just copy this to here for now,
Uh-huh.
and
Looks good.
this should work. So let's see if it can compile or build a Docker image.
Okay.
And then we should be able to run it and get to it from our local system. So Docker run. What was a Docker run? Let's see here. I think it's like -p 8080 host to container.
8080.
Okay, and then just your image name. And this is WASM build, didn't we call it?
I
think
don't
so.
remember.
I think so.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
it's listening
Okay. Now we can curl
curl
it.
localhost 8080 like that.
-D.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not required, but we should give it a little cute message. Yes,
Okay.
that's right. Clippy shouting at us. I love that. Sorry.
Hello.
Or maybe it's just like very friendly, you know? Like it's very far away, like
Caps
over
lock's on.
stream. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So now we have a container image that can run. So this we could put anywhere, theoretically, to run. So
Anywhere where we can run containers, we should be able to run
yes.
this, right?
Right. So what could be our next? I guess we could run it on. Well, should we? I wonder how we could make these Docker files better, or if this is sufficient.
So the like if we want to create like something that's like useful for everyone else to use,
Mhm.
like we shouldn't just be like, hey, here you go, here's your like a 2 gigabytes of Ubuntu. Do you like this? And people are like, yeah, maybe not so much.
Well, let's take a look at the images, Docker images. How big is the deploy?
Pretty big, right? Yeah, 2 gigs. I wasn't that
2
far off.
components, 1.88. So let's try to turn it into a multi-stage and see if it works with just the component binary in there. If we do it from scratch, because
Okay.
then we're stripping away everything else. So let's pull up the docs. Docker multi-stage build. And I'll share that in chat for everybody. This is what I always go to reference whenever I do a multi-stage. That or Aaron Wislang has some good stuff on it. And hello, Mitch, in the chat from Twitch. Shout out to him. We're college buddies.
Ah, cool.
So I appreciate the support, Mitch. Greetings.
What's up, Mitch?
Let's see here. There we go. So there's a multi-stage Docker file.
Okay.
All right. So if we take a look at that.
Oh, by the way, I DM'd you. So I, for some reason, I can't like paste anything in chat, but I DM'd you the link to the replace Rust format thing.
Let me grab that. Put it in chat as well.
Yeah.
The context for. Do you want to take a couple minutes to give some context to that while I'm looking at the Docker file?
Yeah, for sure. So last stream, we decided to start with the Rust base image, or was that 2 streams ago? Anyway, sometime last week, we were like, okay, can we like use the Rust base image to build a cargo components thing? And we got pretty far, but at some point we tried to like, build it, and it was like, hey, I cannot find Rust format. And we're like, okay, let's just add Rust format. And the answer to adding Rust format was
a big
basically write your own Rust image. So I filed a PR to the one dependency that was asking for Rust format, removed Rust format, replaced it with a library. And so now that means that cargo component should be able to work with the base Rust image. And that saves everyone a lot of hassle, because we were like, oh, what's the right build tools from GCC we got to have? Oh, why are certificates like not working? Like all that stuff. You don't want to have to deal with that. So, with this, no more Rust format dependency, hopefully easier times building things, less unexpected stuff happening.
We could use that. Theoretically, we could use the Rust image, which is going to be a lot smaller anyway, instead of like the full Ubuntu.
Yeah. Not yet, though. Not yet. This has not been released yet. It's only been merged.
Okay, so here is the example that I got from. Let me just put this up real quick. The Docker docs, multi-stage. I'll keep that up. If it hides it, let me know. But anyway, this is the snippet over here on the right. The big difference is going to be these little labels here, for lack of a better word, as build. So this, like everything under here until we get to another from statement, those are separate images, right? So this is going to be an image, and this is going to be an image. And from scratch basically says, blow away the file system. We're not going to mount that. We're only going to copy in whatever you tell us to, and that is going to be our component binary.
Oh.
And then we can just run the component binary. Hopefully the expose will still work, I would imagine. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe it won't because of the networking. We'll find out. Because it will need out. We'll figure it out.
I wonder if there's going to be like external libc dependencies or something. Because Go makes like these self-contained binaries. It's really good at that, like zero external dependencies. Rust does not do that always. You can make it do that, but it is very happy to sort of like be more like C, where it'll like have some system dependencies, namely libc. So if we're blowing away the entire file system, I
Might be an
wonder
issue.
whether the necessary libraries are part of it.
And it might not work too because we're exposing some network stuff with the 88 because it's a web app technically.
Mm-hmm.
So that the Scratch might not work, but maybe we can change this to the Rust and it'll be smaller.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll try Scratch to start because I think I've only used this a handful of times.
I also if the Rust works, I also want us to like try Alpine or something.
Okay.
Because that may just have the like right libc libraries, the right symbols in the right places.
Okay.
If you like try and run it, it'll just be like, yeah, I know what to do.
Very good. So we'll give this a shot. So we've set the. Looks like they've got some good. Whoa! Don't do that. What happened? Somebody did something. Paste this up here. Copy the source code. And then this is essentially our Go build right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to. Here's going to be our next from. I'm pretty sure this is not going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. So from build, release WASM component, and we can probably just put it in. It doesn't need to be that same directory. Why can't we just put it at the root like that? Hello, bin. And then move that. We'll see if it works. I don't think it will work.
Okay.
So
let's see.
Build Docker file build.
I'm gonna guess it'll be like, oh, can't find some sort of symbol somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, are we copying in WASM time itself?
That might also be an issue.
Yeah.
So it runs, but let's see here. Error. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Can't find WASM time.
Right. So, do you know? Are there any WASM time images?
No. We should make one.
Okay. So we could do from WASM time, and we'll just see if that works. So let's create another Docker file. Docker file dot. Well, I have a run right here. Is this all we need? No, that's running the app. But let's repurpose this.
Okay.
So,
but by the way, this would make for like a great contribution to the bytecode lines itself.
Okay.
Like an actual like, here's a Docker image, minimal, just include WASM time.
Do you probably Alpine, or what would you think would be a base layer to just put the runtime on?
Let's say Alpine.
Okay. So let's see.
Or I mean, Alpine is a little spicy sometimes. But let's see what happens if we try this.
Which one has curl? Because then we got to worry about that.
Alpine has curl, but you can trivially get curl.
Okay, so if we look at build, we could actually take out. Now I need base because we can actually take this out of here.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's leave it for now, but comment it maybe. And put this in run. because really that's all we need. Right, is we just need the runtime. So Docker build -f Docker file run .-t. We'll call this one WASM time. Or WAS. It's WAS. Yeah, it's WASM time. Okay. WASM time latest. Field to load metadata. Field to resolve Alpine. Maybe I spelled Alpine wrong.
Oh yeah, Alpine.
Yep.
So I'm looking through the actual like install command to be like, are they detecting Alpine exists? I don't think they need to.
AL app line.
Oh, they're using Bash. That may immediately be a deal breaker
for Alpine.
Yeah, I think Alpine just comes like with base SH installed. So yeah, let's give this a try. But like even like executing the,
I think we could install it on there if we wanted Bash on there.
Probably.
Yeah, doesn't know Bash.
Bash not found. There we go.
Curl not found.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna curl into Bash, and Alpine says like, okay, I don't know what curl is, and neither do I know what Bash is. Perfect. Yes. We could just install it. Alpine.
Yeah, was it APK?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see here. Let's see if Copilot can help us. Let's just install curl bash.
APK update, APK upgrade, APK add bash.
We need to update, you said?
Yeah.
And like that?
Yeah, let's just do that. Sure. We don't need to upgrade, right?
Yeah. Error. Let's see here.
No user profile found.
Oh.
That's so funny.
Probably need an environment variable of some kind. No cache. Oh, you have to add if you're running Alpine 3.3. No cache. So add curl. That worked just fine.
Oh, so I don't think it's this line, by the way. It's the next one. I think we're successfully executing line 3, and we're getting stuck on line 5.
Okay.
Because this is talking about WASM time home.
Oh, okay.
Right. So we have curl, we have bash,
right.
And we're curl and bashing it. Yeah.
Because that script in here is looking for a profile.
Can we set an envar somehow?
Yeah,
or like
we can.
Do a and touch home dot.
Oh, it tells us here. You can either create one of these by try again. Export home WASM time bin path.
Does it have options to like just skip it?
I don't know. We could create a profile. It's just the file exists. Yeah, I don't know what it needs a profile for, though. That's interesting.
Oh, it's trying to install like the right WASM time. Like,
is it trying to modify your bash file with these environment? Oh,
we should just touch the file, and then that's fine.
Sure. Create bash profile. No, that's not what I want. We could just run bash RC, right?
Bash RC. Yeah.
Copilot. Not helping me. So there we go. Let's see what this does.
Yep.
Check.
I'm the Copilot now. It's like...
That needs to be a meme, like the Copilot image, and then you're what's that quote from? It's from what's that movie called?
Mm.
Where it's like, I'm the captain now.
I don't know what the movie is.
It's
I was
Tom
like, thought it was.
Hanks.
Oh, really?
Anybody in chat know that movie with Tom Hanks, the pirates? I'll find it.
Oh, I thought it was like some sort of like C tier, like different continent.
Oh,
like
with Captain Phillips. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm the captain now. Here, I'll share the clip with you.
okay.
It'll make more sense now.
I've literally only ever seen like the image. I think the phrase is
The meme
funny.
or something?
Yeah.
For your leisure.
Thank you.
Okay, so that worked.
All right.
So let's just start that container image up. We called that one WASM time.
Yes.
Latest.
That's right.
I must have typed the command wrong.
God, I was thinking, I was like just reading
run.
the WASM time release notes like today. I should like start doing videos on that, being like, hey, check it out. WASM time, like, you know, the latest one can like do these 15 cool things that nobody's like talking about.
You totally should.
Yeah.
So we might need, let's look at the path. Did it tell us where it put it, where it's supposed to put it?
What are we trying to run?
So what I did is, here, I'll just back out so we can follow along.
Mm-hmm.
So we built the WASM time image with Alpine because it's smaller, and we got WASM time, the install sh to work. So now what I'm trying to do is run that container interactively to make sure that the runtime is there. So that's what I'm doing. Well, I need to put run here.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we have a different image where we had a install? It should just be the same, if not similar path.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it put it though, because I think it's not calling environment variables right. So let's first look at the bash profile. It's supposed to have the stuff.
Oh, try your home there and then .wasm time. Like,
okay. ls. Okay.
Hey, bin. And then bin and then wasm time.
Okay. Oh, well, here's what so the bash profile, that's probably because I'm not in bash.
Hey.
WASM time source. Still not.
Bin. I wouldn't worry about that.
Required file not found. So if we
But can we execute it? Like what happens if we like just execute the path?
Oh, the binary itself?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't worry about like we can just give it absolute path because it'll just always install in the same spot, right?
Still not. So the environment variables are working, but apparently this particular, maybe there's things that WASM time needs that Alpine doesn't have.
No, this might be a permission thing. Can you exit bash? Maybe it's like a bash issue. Go back to sh and then try from there.
Bin.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm calling that right.
Yeah.
Have to do that.
Line one. Elf not What's happening? What?
Let's rerun this.
What's the permissions on the thing?
I can do it. You can get that with ls, right?
Yeah, ls dash la. Yeah.
Clear ls dash a.
Can you do that dash l? Yeah, and h also. Great. Okay, so WASM time 40 megs. That seems plausible. And then root permissions. Are we root?
Who am I? Yep.
Okay. No.
I was going to try to run this again and just see if it wouldn't install in Alpine. Warning, already mentioned and has not changed.
Okay. Unexpected word. Okay, so it's trying to execute it. It just doesn't know how to. WASM time line 1 elf not found. What does that mean? Okay. This means you are running a 64-bit program on a 32-bit machine.
Is
Try
Alpine
changing your
32-bit?
compiling config. Maybe this image is.
Interesting.
Alpine Docker 64-bit.
Is that the default? That would surprise me.
Might be.
Tags. Latest. What's the architecture? AMD.
I've never seen this, by the way. It's so funny to me. Maybe Alpine itself is like a 32-bit OS or something.
Might be.
32 bits is enough for everyone. Alpine Linux. Is Alpine Linux 32-bit? A fair way, like in the maybe Alpine doesn't support it.
Let's try this version. Docker build.
Oh, by the way, to confirm it, if we want to, we can cat the CPU info.
Where's that at?
/proc process and
Okay.
then /CPU info.
CPU info.
Yeah. And then somewhere it should say what? No, it did say 64-bit, I think.
Was it down here? Oh, right here. No,
Cache
that's-
alignment 64. Hold on. Yeah, 64 physical. Hold on. I saw a 64 physical somewhere. Oh, 48. It doesn't say 32 anywhere, does it?
Nope.
Nope.
I did just rebuild it with 3.2, so I don't know if latest was. Bash.
Could it be that's fetching the 32-bit WASM time image, if that's a thing? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. What did you have in mind of doing?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same path, just trying to figure out. Is that what the 32 and WASM 32 means?
No.
Okay.
That's the guest, so that's inside of the virtual machine.
Okay. Yeah, the installer script doesn't have any variants. It's just that this line.
Yeah, I'm looking at the WASM time releases. No, we only do x86 64 for Linux, not an x86 32 or anything similar like that.
Could there be anything on the operating system that WASM time needs? It's not there. Like, what are the dependencies for WASM time?
We're getting like so sort of like first off, like we're getting like this really strange error. Right, like I'm kind of thrown by that specific error and like Googling it. Like Stack Overflow says, you are running a 64-bit program on a 32-bit machine. Where it's like, oh.
Oh. Okay, we have WASM time in our path though. So
yeah.
required file not found. That's the actual error if I don't try to dot execute if I just call WASM time. So let's look for that.
Yeah, that's weird. Required file not found.
1 year ago. Oh, you need chmod -x removes execution permissions. So we need to add execution to it.
Yeah, what are our permissions on the thing?
Was it LA
H.
H is what you wanted.
Yeah. So it does say read write. The X stands for execute. I'm seeing a bunch of X's, so I'm assuming that's
Was it group user something?
yeah. But X is execute.
Yeah.
That's the key bit.
I was
We
trying.
can try chmod plus X like on it for like good measure, see if it does anything, but I don't think it should.
No.
Yeah, and the permission should not have changed. Wild. Okay, maybe basing
Someone
it.
just said do chmod 777.
Hey,
I don't think it'll work.
Maybe Alpine's a little ambitious, and we should basically go to the WASM time developers and be like, "Hey, can we run this on like Alpine somehow?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what's in the libc here and all of the system dependencies. Give me 2 minutes." Maybe if we like scale down our ambition just a little bit, and we say,
Okay.
let's base it on like a bare Debian or something.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions on? Let's see here.
Yeah, we already were pulling a Debian somewhere, right?
Yeah, the full Ubuntu.
Oh, I thought at some point but I mean Docker Hub.
What's the container image that they've been using in the cloud native space? Was it? What's that called? It's not
Flatcar.
Flatcar.
Yeah, sure.
Linux container Docker Hub. I wonder if it is on Docker Hub.
Or is Flatcar meant to be the host image or the guest image?
Good question.
There's also Mariner.
Fully open source, minimal footprint, secure by default, Linux distribution for running containers at scale. I have never used this image.
How about this? I say we stick to like more of the beaten path to like start with.
Okay.
And then we can optimize it later if we want to. Because my understanding of Flatcar is that's basically a Core OS alternative spiritual successor, like in that vein, where it's your host system and you can use that to run containers with. So I probably wouldn't put in there. But then Mariner.
What about Debian Slim?
Debian Slim sounds great.
We'll try that out.
Slim implies that it's minimal, right?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Well, find out.
Okay.
But then this isn't going to run. We'll see if it probably won't have curl. So if we go to our, let's clean this up. Copy this over. And we don't need this. Don't need that. Bash should be installed. Probably just need curl. Not curls.
Okay, that would be Debian 12-Slim, I think. Oh, Trixie? Is Trixie newer?
I don't know. It was just the latest one that I saw that was not tagged unstable.
Okay.
That's what I grabbed.
Okay.
All right, so let's try to run this container again. WASM time. Command not found. Cat.
Oh, Trixie is an unstable release still.
Okay. But yeah, what tag would you recommend since you got it pulled up?
Yeah. I want to say bookworm dash slim.
Bookworm dash slim. Okay.
That's the latest stable. I mean, hopefully nothing happens here, but you know, sort of sticking to the beaten path seems like, yeah, that's the most like reliable one right now. I'm gonna go take a bye break. 1 minute. I'll be
No
right back.
problem. You could put on some music while he's away. Let's see here. Some lo-fi. Docker run. Certificates. Okay. Still not working. Cannot execute, no file or directory. Welcome back.
Hello.
Had some good lo-fi going while you were away.
Don't stop on my account. If you want.
So, well, I kind of ran into another error here. So,
okay,
this we ran into the certificate error that we ran into at the base.
Okay.
So I added those in there, and now it's telling me, cannot execute no such file or directory. WASM time with extracting the binaries. So there's this. Not sure. It basically can't find the extracted files.
Okay, what if we drop this slim suffix just for a sec here?
Okay.
Like, I don't know what the difference is between slim and not slim, but at least like this will help us like A/B test of like, okay, what is the root cause here?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if we can't use a chain guard image too. Those are really light. They might have a Debian based one. I bet they would.
Maybe.
Okay,
that?
let's just it'll run or complete, but it doesn't.
Okay.
WASM time. Still not finding that. So what I was doing to debug is once I'm in the container, I was just running the install for WASM time and getting errors. So it's the same temp. Cannot execute no such file directory, cannot recover.
Oh, hold on. Can you just like do the absolute path? Because we've been having bash issues, right? Like try.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So here,
because like we're made like you're making an assumption that the thing is retryable.
Well, see, here's the so this install script. I guess we could go look at it, but it's not able to find the extracted location.
Okay.
which is what
Yeah.
this is. And then, so it's not even making its way into the bin directory. So this setup script is creating the WASM time. And I think it might even be able to update the profile. No, it's not getting there yet.
Okay.
So it's not able, it downloads it seems, potentially, but it does not. I guess we could just download this and check it out, but it's not able to extract it.
Yeah.
So if we look at temp,
And
here's
this is the literal command of the WASM time, right? WASM time dev.
yeah, I think so.
There's no that's identical. Okay, this right here is a bug report.
Yeah, so here's the tar, so it's able to download it, but it can't extract it.
Okay, do you know how tar works?
Vaguely.
All right. I mean, conceptually, like what
Well, it's got an
doing, right?
archive. It's UZ'd, and it's got an archive in there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it typically what it can do, I think it has like two modes. One which is like extract relative, and then there's extract absolute.
Okay.
Where it'll be like, here's basically a snapshot that we're going to overlay on the existing stuff. So I don't know which one it's doing, but clearly something's not working. But it said XZ is failing.
Yeah. So what I'm gathering is the setup script, this install sh, is able to create the directories, and then it downloads to the temp, but then the temp path must be unexpected to it, because then it can't find it to extract once it's downloaded.
I want to go like to the first one there. XZ cannot exec, no such file or directory.
Yep.
That may mean
That's
there's
a
no
tar.
XZ command install that we need to install.
Oh, you're probably right. There's probably no. Well, here, tar.
And then it says sudo apt-get install xz dash utils.
Okay. So let's add this as a package. Which would be right here. What was it, the util again?
XZ.
XZ.
No, the letters X.
XZ utils.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. That might be it.
Okay. Let's give it a shot. It makes sense that, if the decompressor thing is like not part of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense.
Hey. Okay. Did that succeed?
It did. It ran. WASM time.
Hey,
let's try Slim now.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, this would be a good contribution to say, hey, here's a minimal runtime container.
I think so too.
Okay. And then if they say, no, this is terrible, at least we have a starting point.
Oh, actually, we could even like make this multi-stage, right? Or can we? Where it's like, and then we do it from, and then we don't have all of the depths.
Well, look at this. So currently we're at 2 gigs. This Slim is now 202 megabytes.
Oh, that's a 10x reduction. Awesome.
Can we say we're 10x devs now? Is that what that means?
We could always say
we don't have the what's the crazy keyboard, the Kinesis.
Oh, so yeah.
We're definitely not there yet. We're 60% devs or 60.
Yeah, that's right. Like the amount of dev that you are is relative to the size of your keyboard. That's how that works.
Directly related.
Yeah. That's why in what was it, Bones or CSI, like they have 2 keyboards, and like the guy like switches from 1 keyboard to like 2 keyboards at the same time.
Oh yeah,
twice as fast.
Way more productive.
That's right.
All right, so now that we got that, let's go back here. So here's the multi-stage example. We want to say from Docker images WASM time latest. And then we can copy in the component Let's make that bigger.
Uh-huh.
Which is there. Path might be weird. I'm just putting out the root of the file system.
Mhm.
And then so we'll have to update to that. That should work, I think. So we're saying build from WASM component. That's the big one.
Mhm.
Create our component. And then have the next image be from WASM time latest. So how do we, let's go back to the document and see how we run this. Docker build dash dash target build hello dot. Okay, stop at a, oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to run the whole thing. Name your build stages. We did that. We'll just run it. Okay, so
Okay.
Docker images. We've got our component. We've got WASM time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's name this one something different. Docker build -f Docker file. Are we? Yeah, we're back to build now. Build. Oh, it's lower B. And then we will name this. I think it was WASM. Should probably rename these. We'll just do build because that's what we were tinkering with.
Okay.
Docker build. Oh, I need the dot somewhere in here.
That's not a good error message.
Yeah. It's like, here's a different command.
Yeah. Also, you've provided 2 arguments as like, no, you must only provide 1. Unintuitively, it means adding an extra argument.
Mm-hmm.
So go the error is like you must have 1, and the solution is go from 2 to 3. It's like what?
Dash P8080. The moment of truth.
Ooh. Let's go. Can you make it say the moment of truth?
Then it's gonna for sure fail.
I think you need to quote it. Let's see.
Exclamation. Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
I wish I need the OBS confetti. Like, did you ever play Halo and you shoot the little guys and the confetti?
Yeah. What's the damage? How big is the image?
The same as the other one, 204. Well, it's 2 megabytes bigger. So our runtime one was 202. So yeah, from 2 gigs to 204.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Can we just for fun, can we like strip down the base image?
This one?
Yeah. So we're installing like a bunch
totally
of dev deps, right?
Yeah, I bet we could use the Slim.
Oh, aren't we already?
Not for base. We are for build. Let's too many windows. Close that. We don't need that anymore. Okay. Let's move that. Close that. Run. We don't want. Here. Start over. Starting over. So base is the big one. Build has that. So we can actually clean this up too because we don't need. I think I commented it. We don't need to put the runtime in here.
Okay. Yeah.
Now. So we could change the base to be the run, wasn't it? Yes.
Should we start by like naming them the same thing as the file name itself?
Yeah. So base is the base. Build is probably not the build. But actually,
because we're calling. I think we're calling WASM component base, and then WASM build is WASM time, or WASM run is WASM time.
Let's just delete all the images and start over.
Okay.
Okay. So here, this is going to delete all the containers. And this will delete all the images. Got none images.
Woo.
So now let's worry about, so we could take this
Okay.
from run, bookworm slim.
Uh-huh.
I guess let's name this runtime because that's a little misleading.
Mm.
Runtime.
Okay.
And then build is going to be the actual one that we use. I think
Does
these
that
are
contain our
different.
app?
This contains our app. So this, what would this be better called?
I'd call it app.
App. Okay. Dot app. I might not like that. Now we'll find out. That file icon changed. Freaks me out. I don't.
Oh, what?
Did you see when I named it
Oh,
.app,
yeah,
it changed the
yeah,
icon? I'm sure. Hopefully it's fine.
yeah.
So now what we want to do is compare. We
I
want
guess
to update
the right
base.
way to do it would be app.docker file. So it's a .docker file extension. I don't know if it cares about that.
I think Dockerfile has to be first from what I was reading to build them how I was doing it.
I don't like that convention for the reason that's like happening here.
Could we name it component?
Oh yeah, let's go. Sure.
Because that's the component itself. Okay, so base runtime. Now we wanted to update base. So base, we could probably use the same.
What is base? What does
Base
base
is everything that's needed to compile the component,
okay,
not just run the runtime.
Oh, I would call it build.
Okay.
So that's what we use to build the thing.
Yes.
And then runtime is the thing we use to run the thing, and then component sort of
is the
first
component.
Builds it and then runs it.
That's more clear.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Excuse me. All right. So try to move this down to that.
Okay.
And then those are all the things that we need. Those are still relevant.
Yep.
We need Rust.
Should still work.
Okay, so let's do Docker build -f Docker file build dot tag WASM build
Sure.
latest. And this one might take a minute.
Yeah. This was a chunky boy.
Well, there's two images we can contribute. We have the component build environment, and then you have the runtime environment for WASM time.
Yeah. So maybe there's even like 3 here.
Well, the component itself is just a model of an example of how you would host this particular component. If you're doing a CLI binary or something, you wouldn't expose. You would just run whatever the CLI is.
I don't think people want to. So specifically for Docker, right? Like what do people use Docker for? 99% of it is actually, networked applications.
True.
Right.
Some things are, I don't know what component would be, but some container images that are binaries that I've used would be in my CI/CD. Trivy would be an example. So instead of like installing Trivy on the operating system or on the runner every time, you just have the runner start up a Trivy container, run its tool, and then put the patch results on your mounted file system, your mounted volume. And then you can move on, and then you don't have to mess with, some curl commands to install Trivy. But it's marginal compared to the rest of the ecosystem.
Could we do a thing where we we execute the WASM time command and then we feed it essentially like arguments from standard in? So when you say run, yeah, no, is this enough? Hold on, I'm getting confused about like how much Docker allows you to like hard code the interface to it.
Okay.
No, just having it installed is probably enough, and then WASM time is available in general.
Yeah, because the idea is the WASM time, the Dockerfile runtime is equivalent to, say you've got some kind of cloud offering that has a runtime available to you.
Yeah.
You just put your component there and it should run. So that's the equivalent to that image.
So all you'd need to do is like link your component in on an expected path,
Yep.
potentially with an expected name, and
Yep.
then
So
it'll just work.
yep. So what we would do, this is going to be WASM time, right? So you'd
Okay.
say from WASM time, here's my component, run it. In a normal sense, where we didn't have to compile it, we just had our component already.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Can we make it do that and like give it like good names and stuff?
Okay. What do you suggest?
So I, again, my limited like modern or like updated or recent like Docker knowledge is showing here. Like I, you know, um, like what? So we're targeting the Dockerfile runtime. Is there anything there we would want to change if we were to like an official bytecode alliance
Hmm.
WASM time Dockerfile? Like, is there anything here we would want to change? Anything
I
we need
would
to update?
probably not rely on this SH, and I would rip out everything we needed from the SH into Docker commands. So if this was creating an environment variable, I would create that environment variable as
Okay.
export. That's essentially all I would do, is just deconstruct that installer, because
Okay.
this makes it problematic.
What's problematic about this?
Just changes in that file could break it. Like,
Hmm.
this is out of our hands. It's not codified in the file itself.
Right. Right. That's fair. I think for now, like using this as a starting point may not be bad.
No, I
And
think it's fine.
I think that's specifically because if we would contribute this to the Bytecode Alliance, the owners of that script are the same group
Mhm.
as the owners of like the image. So breakage can be coordinated.
Yeah, the
You're
only
still right. Sorry,
Okay,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Yes, all I would recommend is, like, if you were to make this an official image,
Yeah.
you would support multiple distros. So
Okay.
I would take this out and figure out what exactly this needs to have, and then so we would have known, like, maybe they strip it out, they use a different way to extract, right?
Okay.
That changes our dependencies up here.
Okay.
So you'd have a Docker file per distribution, essentially, for the common ones.
Why do you care about different distributions?
So people can choose. That's a good point.
Because like we're spinning up a VM
It should be
basically.
abstracted to
Uh-huh.
the user. So yeah, we wouldn't need to. I was thinking of component, but shouldn't need to.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're saying like, okay, well, using the script, we'd ideally deconstruct it, but we're happy to use the existing thing as a starting point.
Oh, here's a
Um,
question.
yeah.
So the component can run on any architecture, but
Yes.
I would assume the runtime installer has to be different per architecture.
The shell script does not, but what it pulls does.
Well, what does WASM time currently support for operating systems to be installed on?
Mac
Just
OS, Windows,
okay.
Linux, on x86 and ARM.
So if we wanted to make this better, what we would do is we would have a Windows version and we'd have
Uh-huh.
a Mac version of this, so that,
Yes.
yeah, that would be before we were to submit this. That's what I would recommend, is support all the other platforms or operating systems that they currently support, and have Docker files for those containers.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that really as like a prerequisite to submit?
No, because this is going to be Ubuntu, and Linux is going to be the primary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you, I guess, like oh, hey, our thing finished. Nice.
Yeah. All right. So we've got, make sure we're matching all the image names up.
Mhm.
Images. So we have our build. We've got our build environment.
Okay.
for component.
Yes.
Maybe we should rename it though to like WASM component build or build environment. What do you think would be a more distinguishing?
Cargo component.
Okay.
Can you use dashes in names or no?
I think so. Well, let's look at what's the syntax for that?
You can try it. I don't know.
Docker container image name naming standards.
Yeah, you should. You can call Debian Slim, for example.
Yeah, dash slim here. So cargo dash component.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now in build, we'd say, no, I copied this with my special control command.
Your special control. Oh, you're on your keyboard.
Yeah. I'm still not used to the register in Vim.
Right.
And when you delete something first, it overrides.
Have you done the thing where your clipboard is hooked up to your
System?
register? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, that'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some like editors, notably the Rust Playground, that don't do that, and I'm like, they should, they just should.
They should, because then you got to type it out. You can't get it out of the editor.
Oh, it's the difference between like the P command for paste versus Command V for system paste. And you like need to remember if you then like do the regular C versus Control C, and I'm like, I don't want to care about this. Just
so this is making more sense. We've got the component. So let's rename cargo component. Right?
Should be a Rust component. I don't know.
Rust component. WASM component. I don't know.
Here's what I'm thinking. Like ideally we would take the base Rust image and we would allow it to like build components on top.
That's the ideal path, because that was where we started. That was our assumed path, was we could just pull in the Rust. So maybe we could suggest changes there so that they can build components from that package.
Yes. Well, I merged the patch required to make that work.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, well, yeah, we just got to wait. So we'll just keep this for now and then we'll update later. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could I
think we can, but we should be able to just like name it whatever we want now, and then
we can. But just for anchoring, I'm going to name that Rust, because we should be able to replace this entire file with just Rust. So let's rename.
And then, but we also need to install the cargo component command on top, right?
Yeah. Rust component.
Nice.
Can I have hyphens in the name? Failed to resolve. Oh, I need to change the name. Build.
What?
Rust. I'm curious if I can have a hyphen in after my dot. So Rust component.
And you need a dot somewhere too, right?
You are correct.
Okay. Otherwise, it'll tell us that we have too many arguments.
So from Rust component latest as build, that would make sense, right? So we have, okay. And then we're going to copy it into our WASM time, which is our runtime.
Yeah.
So let's rename this one WASM time.
Yes.
Like that. And we have our actual component. So we could name this WASM component.
Sure.
Is that more clear?
Sure.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I'm wondering, like, what's the difference between a Rust? So in the abstract, just two names. What's the difference between Rust component and WASM component? And like, one is our local application, the other one is the
maybe
shared
just
image.
let's just keep this Rust then. Words matter, they do.
They
So
do.
Rust, so like that's our where we're
Sure.
starting. Then we're gonna build a component,
Yeah.
which is this, because this is what actually compiles the component. And then we
Uh-huh.
have our WASM time, which would run the component.
Yes.
Better? Okay.
I think this is great.
Rust, just Rust. Because ideally that would be replaced. Yeah, that looks, I like that. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now we can build our second. Well, let's build our runtime now. So Docker build WASM time.
Oh.
Dash tag WASM time latest.
What if the bytecode alliance had an image for Rust, an image for Python, for JavaScript, like all of these? And like, if you're building your Node.js code, then it like, you pull, I don't know, your Node.js thing to like do the build, and then the run just works with that.
That would be nice.
I
Because
think
that's
so.
how you typically do it. Is like, okay, what distribution do I want to worry about?
Yeah.
So, but with WebAssembly, that paradigm from architecture or operating system switches to language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait, isn't architecture like the output and language the input?
Well, so like when you're building an application and you're today with containers, your two
Yeah.
concerns with how your Docker file is going to look is what architecture am I going to be on and what operating system am I going to be on. But when that's
Okay.
not a concern,
Yeah.
um, to build the component, you're probably going to want to do it in the language that you're compiling from.
Yeah.
So then your concern about your build environment from a container perspective shifts from the OS architecture paradigm to the language.
Okay. I thought, okay, yes. Yes, I see what you mean.
So I'm agreeing with your idea of like if I was going to build a Rust component, I would like to be able to go to the bytecode and say, what if I'm going to use Docker as my distribution
Yeah.
method or deployment method,
Yeah.
what image can I use where I'm familiar with the language and this build environment here is allowing me to compile my component in Rust or in Python or in whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then run it.
Yeah. And I think the sort of the shared, the final thing here is have the WAS, or the central like keystone of it all is like have a WASM time Docker image to like run components,
Yeah,
and then you can worry about the building. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Two
Okay.
separate
Okay.
stages. Because yeah, just like if you look at this, you can say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to use the Rust one to compile, and then I'm going to WASM time doesn't. I don't need to know what it is. I just need it to have the runtime and to be able to run my component.
Do you? Because there, it feels like on the build side. Sorry, I'm stratosphering, like, or like rocketeering all the way into a stratosphere here, where I'm like, okay, what's the preferred flow here? Because there's also like GitHub Actions, right? That people typically. So okay, all the way back, like
Okay.
expected flow. I
Yeah.
expect people to have their application and then be like, I would like to compile this to a component,
Mm-hmm.
and as a sort of like final step, it's like, okay, but not just a component because we're doing an intermediate thing, also a Docker image because we are transitioning infrastructure, or we don't have native component runtimes quite this second. So let's say Rust, right? Rust and Car component. You have your local app. Then in GitHub Actions, you build it each time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Using supposedly some like car component action. And then at some stage, maybe during release, maybe there's like a release thing, you smith it into like here's our component, but also we're going to wrap this in an image. Maybe there's like do you need a for that specific flow, right? Do you need a oh my god, words are escaping me. A build Docker runtime?
Your runner will have to have Docker installed, like Docker daemon of some kind, to build the container image. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, do we? No, I meant it differently. I meant it to create the component itself. GitHub Actions does not require a Docker environment, right?
No, it doesn't, but you can use Docker
Yeah,
and Docker.
yeah. But in order to create the final Docker image, we do need to use the doc. Okay,
Yeah, so
okay,
there's a couple paths there.
okay.
I think it'll really help if we separate. There's a container or some way to automate the build process. So
Mm-hmm,
you could all this stuff that we put in the container, we could actually like all this stuff, this environment specific stuff, and
mm-hmm,
then the actual component building
mm-hmm,
is on the left is the build stage. That can be done and wrapped in a container and run
mm-hmm.
in actions, or you could have the runner just have a run section in your GitHub Actions that does all that for you and then produces the component. And then
Okay,
on the right side of the equation, you have your runtime or your like the deploy. We'll use deploy not to mix the runtime. But
okay,
then that from what we're doing right here would need to be the WASM time image that we
yeah,
can put on our existing infrastructure because the hosts themselves don't have a WASM runtime available. So we can put it inside of a container and then run it there. So
okay,
they're two separate images. The build could definitely be a build script. It could be like what would be you could probably even do make, like a
okay,
make file with all that stuff, just as long as your host has the dependencies it needs. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to do that.
okay. Would
You
you?
could wrap it all in an action, like a Rust component action, and
Mm-hmm,
then all they would pass in is the directory of their source code,
mm-hmm.
and then the action would take care of it. You could do that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Okay. Because I feel like the central question that a lot of people have with components, they're like, okay, we've seen what it can do. We understand that it's fast, it's efficient, it's lightweight. Now, how do I build one?
Mhm.
And like things like actions, things like
I think that
images, they all
that
help.
might be a really interesting topic for another stream is
Okay.
taking the build, the
Uh-huh.
Rust environment here, and this step right here, the
Hmm.
build portion of our multi-stage, and putting it in a nice action and saying,
Oh,
here's a WASM component action that
yeah.
you put in whatever code you want, Python, Go, Rust,
Hmm.
and we will compile it for you to the binary output. And
Okay.
then a whole separate discussion of like, okay, now I have the binary in my releases. How
Hmm.
do I deploy that and run it in my environments? But I think an action like that'd be nice because you can just
Yeah.
wire it up to your workflow and be on
Hmm.
your way.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Let's do that at some point. Let's finish going through the initial flow of like, okay, we're building a thing, we're uploading a thing, we're running a thing. And then
Okay.
from there, like now let's pave that path, that little cow path that we've like just gone through. Let's
Yeah.
make that like nice and
Nice.
like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Sounds good. Back to the container images, and I think we'll
Yes.
wrap up here in just a second. But I want
Okay.
to build the last image. So I've mucked this up, but um, we have our Rust environment.
Uh-huh.
We have our WASM time container image.
Hmm.
And now we need to go ahead and just build our app. So Docker, let's clear first. Docker build -f um, Docker file WASM component.
Hmm.
So we're going to build the actual component now. Make sure I put the dot, and we'll say WASM component latest. Wait, let's just name it what it is, because this is going to be Clippy.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is it you called it WASI Clippy?
I think so.
Latest. Okay. And I think I updated the from properly. Okay, so now just to bring it home, Docker run dash p 8080 8080 WASI Clippy latest.
Ooh, that's looking promising.
Curl localhost. That's it. What's that?
That's it, folks.
Yeah, like that. Could put forks.
Woo!
And there. And then we just shut end stream. We're all done.
Okay, yeah. That's it. Goodbye for now. No. I'm glad. Okay. So one last quick recap through our images.
Yes.
We have the .rust image, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Rust.
That's Rust. And then we have our, we renamed it a bunch of times, so that's fine.
Let's do this.
Nice.
Clean it up so we can talk through it.
Okay.
Haha. Yes.
Love
so
that.
we have our, if we can get rid of this one too. Docker RMI.
Ooh, okay, perfect.
Yes, we have our base Rust.
Okay, our 2 gigs monster of a
that monster. We should be able to replace this after that release that you worked on with just the Rust image itself, the official Rust container image.
I still feel like we may want to like cut our own like image with Cargo component installed.
Yes, because that will have to be like a little shim in our build step. Okay.
But indeed, the idea for Cargo component is eventually merge it back into Rust proper at some day, who knows when.
Some point. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have our runtime container, which just gives us WASM time.
Yes.
And then we have our actual application.
Yes.
And that's it. And that's yeah.
Can I?
That's good.
So we said we'd wrap up, but I'm curious about one more thing. If we can do that.
Sure.
The actual WASM time image. Can we remove the install dependencies?
All of these?
Yes.
No, because things in the script require them to be there.
Yeah, but then the script is executed. And then after that, can we uninstall them? Can we do a from scratch sort of multi-step, or is that too far?
Ooh, a multi-stage build in the WASM time. We might be able to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming like
do you have a couple more minutes?
I do.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me grab the right example. Oh, that's not it. This one. Haha.
Do you know how big a Debian Bookworm Slim base is? Do you have a local copy of that?
I could do Docker pull. Find out. $74.
Okay, that means we have 130
because of our packages that we installed.
Yeah, I think WASM time itself was what, 80, 40, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. So let's do this. So we'll do this as build, and then from scratch, and then we want to copy to WASM time.
Oh, can we do? I don't think we can do scratch. Can we?
Well, probably not. What smaller could we use for that though?
I was thinking, just to keep it simple, we do from Debian Bookworm Slim again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But then we've just like, basically what we're saying is like, we're basing this on Bookworm Slim. No, there are no build dependencies, and this probably halves the image size immediately.
Okay. Let's find out.
Okay.
Docker build dash Docker file.
I think the fully correct solution here is like get something like Alpine working and then
Okay.
really slim it down. But this is like the for free version where I was like, wait, wouldn't this just work?
WASM time latest. There's probably a way to purge the packages.
Mm-hmm.
Failed. Failed to calculate checksum.
What?
Not found.
Oh.
Oh, it didn't give the right path to where it actually puts it.
Oh, okay.
It's actually. It is. I wonder if I can use that. WASM time. Do you remember what it was?
Bin?
Bin? Something like that. Failed. No such directory. Maybe can I use home environment variable? Or it was in root. What's the full path? Let's see here. Docker run -it -rm WASM time latest. So cd dot WASM.
It might be in /root or something, wasn't it?
Nope.
Ooh.
Let's see if it's installed. Yep. Where is there?
There we go.
So
oh,
now,
you did ls, but not la. So the hidden. Yeah.
Yep. So we need to replace that with this.
Uh-huh.
Now we're happy.
Okay.
So now we can recompile the component or the Clippy.
We need to point it to the different path.
It should be fine because this is just gonna.
No, I meant line 11.
Line 11 here.
Yeah. Then we.
Oh, it is going to be
/WASM
just
time, right?
/WASM time. Oh no. Like that. Wait, does it need to be?
I don't know what dear we're in.
We'll find out.
Okay.
So Docker build -f WASM component, and then our tag would be WASI Clippy. Need my
dot somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Images. Want to know?
Okay.
Okay.
Clippy down 100.
Down 100. That's good.
Okay.
This really is just Debian plus WASM time.
Yeah.
And then 2 megabytes for a like image.
Where's my run? See if it works.
It's sure looking promising.
Yep.
Yay. Okay.
Little 10-minute venture.
Yeah. But that, like, we have the size, right?
Yep.
How much are we now?
We are 118.
118. Okay, so like 100 megs. And if we pull, how big is the latest Alpine image? Just for fun.
I spell it right this time?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, 7.
Okay. That means we have room to.
I bet we could take a look at the install sh
Uh-huh.
and convert it to Alpine
I
instruction
love
set.
that.
Yeah. Should
But
that be next stream?
Okay.
Or you got another
Maybe.
2 hours?
So I want to say, if I can get the demo for the artifact building and uploading the OCI stuff working, I know it's been demoed and I know it should be possible. The question is, can we reproduce those steps? Then we should do that next.
Okay.
If we can't, then yeah, let's go deeper into that.
So with that, then we don't even need. So in that step, you're assuming that you have a GitHub, you have a workflow
Mhm.
that is compiling the binary or the component and then putting it in a registry, and then
Yes.
your component run. Where's the component itself? This whole this goes away, this build, and then this copy is actually a
Mhm.
call to pull down the component from the registry.
Can it be
It
that?
it could, because then you wouldn't compile it, but or you would have more accurately, you would have, say you're using Kubernetes, you would just point to the component from your manifest. But so it gets tricky because if we have the component in the registry, typically registries are used for the container images themselves and not the
Yeah.
component. So then we'll have to think through, what does that mean for deployment? Because
So
Kubernetes is going to accept a container image, or like ACR is going to assume that the OCR artifact being pulled down is an image.
So what I'd say, okay, what I'd say is we want to do. Okay, I'm thinking this through. So we have to build stage done, right? We can create a component,
Mhm.
and now we're like one step above that, where it's like we can create a component and put it inside of a container.
And run.
Now for our next magic trick, what I'd say is like, let's upload the container to the GitHub registry.
Okay.
And
That's easy.
then next to that, maybe let's do that one first. So we upload the container. And next to that, we then also upload the component. So we
Okay.
have a component and a container on our registry, and people can choose which one they pull. Then the step after that is we deploy maybe first the container, but
Then how do we deploy a
SpinCube
component? Okay. Okay. Got it.
can natively pull components.
Components. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right.
And we
Well, that's
get
a
the
look into the
dual
future.
workflow.
Yeah.
Huh?
I
Yeah.
said that's a look into the future for people tuning in
Exactly.
chat. All right. Well, that is a good place to wrap it up.
Yes.
We'll be back Friday
Uh-huh.
at 9:30 Central. Will be 4:30 your time, I believe. What time zone are
That's
you
right.
in again?
CEST, European
CEST.
Summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch you all there. Thanks for tuning in. Best place to find it is going to be on the AKS community channel. That's where you're going to be able to get the notifications. All the other distribution points, LinkedIn and Twitter and so forth, they just go live. There's no kind of way to get notified ahead of time. So YouTube's probably your best bet. So go to YouTube and subscribe there so you can get the notifications. But we'll be back Friday. So thank you all for watching.
All right. See you Friday.
Yep.